This episode of Profiles in Risk is brought to you by InsurTech Connect Las Vegas. The legendary ITC is coming back to Vegas October 14 to 16 at the Mandalay Bay Casino. ITC is the largest InsurTech conference in the world by a long shot and the absolute cannot miss event of the year. We never miss it, neither should you. Register today using our discount code INSNerd200. Again, that's INSNerd200 and see you in Vegas, baby. And when you're there, look for me. I'm the guy with the red top hat and ask me for a magic trick. Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, and drinking my caffeine, as I always do, out of a beer glass today. So it looks like I'm drinking Guinness, but no, it is just caffeine. We are recording on Monday, July 14th. And today I have with me Jeremy Jawish, co-founder and CEO at Shift. And we've had in the past, for the listeners, back in January of 2023, so a little over 2 years ago, episode 394, we had James Testel come to talk about Shift. So we're doing a follow-up episode, but you don't need to have listened to the prior one for this one to make sense. Jeremy, first of all, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
Very good. Thank you for hosting me. And pretty cool to have this recording on Bastille Day as a French. So
congratulations. So I have very limited French. I'm trying to think how to say congratulations, but parabéns is Portuguese, not French.
Félicitations.
Félicitations, Jeremy. Je parlais un petit français, just enough. I've got enough high school French that I was able to get us around Morocco with my French, and believe me, my French is a lot better than my Arabic. So it actually like just fine. So like I can ask for the bathroom, order food, kind of thing. Fantastic. And where are you joining us from today? Are you in Paris?
I'm in Boston today.
Oh, okay. So you're missing out on Bastille Day.
Yeah. I try to optimize my work days.
All right. So Boston in July, it's probably beautiful. Like Boston probably doesn't get super hot in the summer.
Yeah, it's pretty nice out there, and I think if you want to visit Boston, July is the perfect month. Yeah,
makes perfect sense. Yeah, it gets freaky cold later in the year.
Yeah.
All right. So we always give the guest the chance to give the elevator pitch. What is Shift Technology?
Yeah, so Shift, we're a company that provides AI solutions for insurance companies. So we're a vertical AI company, really focused on working with insurers, for insurers, providing them AI solution that helps them take better decision and automate part of the process. Our flagship product is around fraud detection. So today we serve almost 70% of the US P&C market with AI fraud detection tools. And then we have a set of other products that have been deployed that also are having an enormous impact on combined ratio, like subrogation detection for claims, underwriting risk assessment for underwriting. And then we're bringing other new products from Europe around automation, automating claims from first notice of loss to documents processing, loss adjustment reports, understanding. So we help our insurers to provide the best service for their customers through automation and AI, which is pretty exciting these days. This is, we went from crazy people that talk about AI that scares insurers to now being at the heart of innovation and what everybody's talking about.
Fantastic. All right. So the original one was the fraud detection AI, right?
Yep.
So the past episode is a lot about the fraud detection AI, although I'm sure it has changed in 2 years, given how quickly this thing moves. By this thing, I mean AI. But do give us a little bit on that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the AI fraud detection and why Shift is the best option for that.
Yeah. So to your point, a lot of things changed in the last 2 years, and I think one of the greatest changes that happened the last few months is so we provide our customers a platform that helps them, identify the claims they need to get a closer look at. Telling them, oh, you should take a closer look to this claim because of these reasons, because the AI identified these discrepancies or this information or this behavior. We do it on a claim level, on a group of claim level, but also on the provider level. And that have been instrumental in providing the best outcomes from an SIU perspective, special investigation units or claim handlers perspective. And what's pretty cool in the last year, let's say, is that with the success we're having with our carriers, several of them came to us and say, that's pretty cool, but what if you guys were able to help us to share data across each other and make sure that we're able to have a platform where, I can, in a very secure way, in a decentralized way, this is the cool thing about it, share data with other carriers, because at the end we're all fighting fraud and we're looking not up, for small scratch on a vehicle that is not covered that the customer is trying to recover. We're talking about more organized schemes, providers that abuse the system, agents that abuse the system, and so it's really going after more organized, more deliberate fraud. And this is how we created the insurance data network, which is a way that insurers have to share data across each other and make sure that our AI is being applied on a larger pool of data.
Fantastic.
And,
Let me pause you on that one, because that is a really big deal.
oh
Right?
yeah,
So I have never worked SIU. I did work claims for a couple of years. 1 year for Farm Bureau Iowa and 1 year for Nationwide, both very entry-level claims. And I will never forget my SIU training. Part of like my office's SIU guy at Nationwide was a very cool guy. So like I listened to what he was saying, and he talked about that he gets this was 12 years ago, 13 years ago. He gets a lot of questions on, okay, SIU, how many people have you put in jail, right? How many criminals have you put in jail? And he explained that, well, that's not really what I do. What I do is make Nationwide hard to defraud, so that they'll go defraud somebody else instead because they're easier, right? So that's a start, but that doesn't fix the problem of the, I don't know how many billions of dollars of wasted claim payments that cost us all money, right? Not just the companies, but our clients, because their premiums directly get affected by it. So having something like what this makes me think of is basically the Clue report, which here in the States is that where carriers can check claims from any carrier, right? So never thought of it before, but yeah, to the best of my understanding, there is nothing in the SIU world like Clue, and so that by itself is super cool. It's always hard to get carriers to share information with each other, because we are ultimately, our business is basically data, and everybody thinks they have to protect their trades. Everybody thinks everything's a trade secret. So if you have been able to convince them to share their SIU data in a way that makes sense and is secure, and then apply AI on top of it, that is just game changing for the industry.
Yeah, it's game changing, and also, we're pretty, excited and very proud of being, the company that these carriers agreed on trusting for that. And the reason why they liked the way we set it up, it's because, like you said, we do it in a secured way where also, users cannot go and check any data. So you can't, connect and say, oh, I want to see what's stolen history at any insurer, and then go and start, crawling and do whatever you want with it. So it's really making sure they can share a lot of information. So we share, like information about drivers and cars and homes and claims and even providers, and help them to find a way where we could apply very advanced AI and surface the elements they need to check with looking at the history of every any person, object that is involved in a claim, in a way where there's no any exchange of trade secret, no exchange of data you don't want to exchange, no bulk of data or bulk of policies or whatever things that could take any risk of exposing any trade secret or any process that insurer don't want to share. And it's something that we've been doing a lot in Europe. And the fact that we brought it to the US with the GDPR mindset was super helpful and exciting for them. So long story short, when you get fast forward a year, we get today almost 70% of the United States claims data shared on our platform. We talk about more than 50 fields. And it's something that also helps them to understand more the context of more organized networks, look at some totally off-the-chart providers that go and pick this carrier and this carrier and then end up doing it in a state. And so it's been super impactful. And also it's been a great journey for us to onboard our users on it because it's something pretty new. Other than the fact that it's having a lot of impact, it's also a new onboarding journey, getting users to get excited about stuff they didn't have before. Like you said, you didn't have something like this before, and for us, it's a great new project we've been super excited about.
Fantastic, like truly fantastic. Do we have to be on shift in order to access and contribute data to the data network?
Yeah, that's something we didn't manage to sort in another way. So you need to be on the Shift platform. The reason why it's because like I said, you can't really start crawling the database. So you need a vector to be able to detect and apply AI on it, which means that you have to be signed up for this product to access it. However, one of the things that our customers love about it is we don't charge them for the data. So there's no any commercial tied to IDN. There's no any fees to access it, no any fees to get on it. And the reason why it's because it's set up in a way where we don't own the data, which means that we can't resell it. We can't use it for anything else. We can't, show up one day and say, oh, let's try this kind of new stuff on it. And it goes tied to the fact that we cannot charge services for it or resell it. And it's a great virtuous cycle because for us it helps us get our products better. It gets a network effect where the more we were adding carriers, the more it became relevant, and the more it was exciting for them because there's no any commercial tie to it. So this is where it was a snowball effect, and today we got majority of the United States data shared on it. But it all started with an idea of let's find a way to share information without having a third party owning it or taking control over it.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So let's dig into the other what I'm thinking of as the newer products. So you said subrole detection, underwriting risk assessment, etc. So yeah, let's kind of go. Let's dig a little bit deeper into it. So tell me about the subrole detection.
Yeah, so subrogation is a totally different idea, which means that we help our carriers to detect subrogation opportunity that they're missing. And so the reason why it's because some of the situations are pretty complex, and it's not that you can't expect when you look at our users today, they manage a huge amount of claims in a very short period of time, and the latest shortage in manpower, the latest shortage in hires, made it really harder. And expectations of customers increasing. I think insurance customers now expect way faster settlement that we used to experience because of all the rise in digital services and the fact that they see that in other verticals, they're able to get, real-time services that they didn't have before. And so this is where I think the situation is today. We're expecting from claim handlers to do way more than they used to with way less time and really less support. And this is where, in order to make sure they can do it in a more efficient way, we help them detect subrogation opportunity that they might not be able to detect. And so this is what the product is about: is leveraging the understanding of insurance claims in the United States with the AI that we already created and also sourced in order to help them understand more the circumstances, understand the damages, understand the description of the claim, understand all the different regulation in every state, and being able to tell them, look, you might have missed this opportunity. Can it be reviewed by a subrogation plan? So that's been a very successful, very impactful product in the US and P&C. It's interestingly way more impactful in the US than other countries. And the reason why, I think it's because the nature of the US market with a big diversity into state regulation. Also the fact that the subrogation process in the US is pretty decentralized and not also automated. You don't have conventions in the US like you have in other countries like France and Germany, Spain, and others. And also the fact that in order to be able to have a very efficient process, you need to be embedded, connected, integrated within claim systems. And that's something we've been investing a lot in. So that's our latest product that's really taken off. And now the next step is what can we do with this product to start being more integrated with arbitration forums and other platforms that would help us also gain another network effect.
All right. So underwriting risk assessment.
Yeah. So this is maybe what James talked about. And this is, providing, AI more at the underwriting process, making sure we can help underwriters and, reviewers figure out if there's any misrepresentation of risk, if there's any, sometimes errors at the underwriting process. I myself, got confused in my underwriting process several times, taking an insurance policy, and it helps them, to understand the context, all the descriptions, the situation of the, policyholder, and making sure we can, steer them to, oh, you should look at this information, you should call back, the policyholder and ask him more questions, or just correct it. And that's been also a very significant impact because, sometimes small changes in the policy would help you have a better risk assessment. Sometimes also you have just group of policyholders you don't want to come back. They had a claim, you figure out it was fraud, you reject the claim, then they show up again, the same car with a new policy. It sounds basic, but that happens more than we think. And also in some cases, we have also, broker fraud, which, is less common, but when it happens, it really happens. And so being able to, use our understanding of claims and policy to help underwriters have a better appreciation of the risk they're underwriting for is being also super helpful and having a big impact on combined ratio because you can, at the start, being able to calibrate better your risk. By the way, you should interrupt me. I can talk for hours.
Oh,
so...
no. I almost measure the quality of an episode by how little I talk.
Okay.
Because I can talk for hours too, but I don't know anything about your product. So the more that you talk, my job is quite simply like finding the interesting things to get you going. Perfect. So I really appreciate this, by the way. All right. So now you mentioned that you guys are putting out some new products around automation. So tell me about those.
Yeah, that's the latest work we've been doing. Usually in some cases like automation, we experience stuff in Europe and then bring it to the US. The latest thing we've been investing a lot out in Europe that gonna, I think, really make a difference in the US is leveraging all the latest agentic AI, all these agents today that are being more and more, accessible and also more and more, good and, showing up with great performance and using them to help insurers automate their claims process. It goes from a simple, who the claim should go and be assigned to more complex, understanding the code the invoice we received, following up on some questions, putting all of these elements together for a demand package, putting all of these elements together for, closing the claims. Sometimes just at first notice flaws, being able to, determine if it's covered, not covered, what could be next steps. We're seeing a drastic increase in AI agent performance. The fact that we mix it with a lot of insurance understanding helps us to optimize two variables, which is how many claims you want to automate and how accurate do you automate them. We've seen a huge increase in how many claims you want to automate. I think being able to be efficient and make sure that your performance, your accuracy is pretty high was already, some kind of under control. We were able to get automation and next best action tasks figured out at 99% accuracy. But the level of automation was way lower. We were in the 20s.
Okay.
And with the latest, advancement in agentic AI and being able to have agents that understand the context and you can, control them in a way where they don't get too much off track, helped us to increase from 20% to, in some cases, 60%.
Wow.
And that have been drastically improving the customer, satisfaction. They get answers in real time, follow up on their documents, follow up on, oh, we see that this is missing or that's missing or that's understandable, not understandable. And being able to do it 24/7 in real time with a minimum error have been, game changing for some insurers.
Okay. All right. So I've had this conversation either online or offline with a lot of AI founders. You have been at this for longer than most, according to LinkedIn. Are you going to put us all out of a job?
So I think today we underestimate the amount of time that experienced handlers spend on simple, boring, non-interesting tasks.
Oh.
It is insane. One of the things I love doing is going and meeting with users and claim handlers, and I like it because I can get a lot of ideas. Also, I like it because they give us honest feedback. The more you go to front-end users, the more they tell you exactly what they think. It doesn't go through a whole chain of management. And one of the things I'm always surprised by is how you get these experienced handlers at every single level doing a lot of manual tasks about, like if you just sit next to bodily injury handlers and see how much time they spent looking at a BI bodily injury demand package of hundreds of pages in order to make sure they can use their expertise on 20% of the document, 10%. You can see that before replacing these people, you need to, there's a whole bunch of work that you can do to help them optimize their time and make sure they can be focused on, the 20% piece where they can have enormous added value. So, if I need to take a prediction, would be helping, claim handlers to be, I would say, without being, I hope I won't sound too arrogant or crazy, but I think we can make people 10 times more efficient, and making them 10 times more efficient, not by, have them work faster or, take decision on their behalf, but more making sure that they can focus on where they're the best at. And I think talking to users and claim handlers, I realized that when you go and show and explain what you want to do, you get them overly excited. And where I thought that it would be more managers forcing their teams to use automation tool because they don't want to do it, it's other way around. The more we show what we do to users, the more yeah, they get to their managements like, I don't want to look at these documents anymore. I don't want to go and spend hours opening PDFs and scans and chasing customers and understanding why they uploaded this and not that. And usually it gets the other way around, which is super exciting for us. But also it means that there's a lot of education needs to be done in the market to have, insurance professionals understand that automation is here to make their life way better and way more exciting rather than replace them.
Perfect, 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 perfect. It is scary. So okay, so it's would it be fair to say what you're doing is giving us superpowers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Superpowers are also like taking care of the boring stuff.
Perfect, perfect. And it is scary, especially here in the States where we don't have a solid safety net, right? But yes, after having interviewed, I don't know, freaking 150 AI founders, and having plenty of conversations offline with AI experts that serve our world of insurance, my conclusion generally is that you guys are giving us superpowers. I do worry about about society not managing this correctly, but yes, when it comes to the tools that are being created for insurance, I think in general they are a net positive.
Yeah, I think insurers mismanaging a risk or mismanaging going too fast on technology, I think it's not
the very concept of a traditional insurer moving too fast on technology
yeah.
it is quite literally laugh out loud funny for somebody who's been in the industry for 15 years. So yes, not too worried about that. All right, Jeremy, always curious on the origin story. So it sounds like you've been running Shift for 12 and a half years. So that is
Yeah.
long before the AI revolution. I mean, I know AI goes back to the 50s, but long before the ChatGPT AI revolution. So I'm curious on the origin story. How did you end up deciding to build this company and why?
Yeah, it's there's nothing. I think it's like a boring story, but I've been weirdly enough, I've been excited about insurance when I was starting my career because I thought it was pretty cool that you pay a small amount of money and then if something happened to you, there's a company that's gonna be there to help you take care of your problems. And I thought it was pretty cool. And my friends were making fun of me because they didn't think it was the coolest thing to do, but I thought it was really, really cool. And then with my co-founder Eric, we spent some short time in insurance, and then we figured out that there was a real opportunity to create software service solutions for insurers. And so we said we want to start a software service solution that use AI to detect fraud. And it was more than 10 years ago, but I can tell you when we started telling insurers we're gonna use AI to help you select the claim you want to focus on rather than having a wide net of screening. It was not that easy for the reason it was AI was the wrong word at the time, but we thought that we could explain it and educate the market on it. And second, software as a service. When you look 10 years earlier, especially in Europe, I think US was always more advanced than other countries there. But explaining to insurance company that we're going to implement a software service solution that would use their data to better detect fraud was like a real struggle. It took us at least 3 years to find the first customer. And today, like I said at the beginning, the interesting thing is we used to be, using words that would scare people. Today, we're like on the mind of every single, executive or even team leader in insurance. And we got lucky to stick to our, plan and be pushing there. But fast forward, we have, more than 200 data scientists that wake up every morning thinking of insurance. We have, 600 people in the
Okay.
company only do, AI for insurers. And yeah, it's a super exciting time right now to have built this, momentum, having that many customers in so many different countries, being able to compare, the way insurers see AI in Europe and US and Japan and, with different cultures, process, ideas, apprehension. That's for me personally is super exciting.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we are recording this on July 14th. The spring conference season has ended. Spring/summer conference season because it dragged into the end of June and the first week of July. I am freaking exhausted. Uh, for any potential clients that want to see the team out on the road, get to meet you guys in person. I'm assuming in the fall you'll be out at ITC. Where else
Yes.
will you guys be that you already know you'll be?
So we usually go to a lot of conferences because it helps us also to get feedback. Um, it's the best way to make sure you can have several of your current customers giving you feedback in a conference and sit down with them. So we usually go to the usual fraud conference, claims conference, subrogation conference. It's been super enriching for us,
Okay.
understanding what the market needs. And yeah, ITC would be one of the big with the big conference we go to. And anyhow, like on our website, we usually put the events we attend. But I think if insurers wanna get more information or get a demo or even get us on a phone to see what problems we can help them on, they can contact us. Insurers can contact me. I get still a lot of requests, and sometimes I annoy my team by showing up in some insurance office to listen to users. So I get a lot of personal requests where I ended up being on the run and showing up, meeting with users. So
Fantastic, Jeremy. Thank you so much for your time today. I love getting the story straight from a passionate founder and CEO. Uh, and especially super interesting, super cool. I tend to get a lot of CEO founders early on, and then once the company is a little more mature, like you guys are, I tend to get the head of sales kind of thing. So it is awesome to get a co-founder CEO 12 years into serving our industry in this way, already deployed to 70% of the data in P&C. So yes, really appreciate your time today. Mercy.
thank
Uh,
you.
what would be Bastille Day would be what's
Felicitations. Yeah.
Joe is day uh yeah, my French is not happy Bastille Day since we're recording on Bastille Day. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the listeners, when this goes live, I will tag both Jeremy and the company's LinkedIn page, and in the show notes you will find their website. Uh, Jeremy, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. It was pretty fun. So and I hope to see the outcome of your mentalist training. That'd be super.
Fantastic. Thank you.